Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon Wood of Hell's Kitchen Studios, including Theodore Stalker, Ryan Wahl, Kylie Wiggins, and Ryan Winter. We're here to present to you our comedic game called My Big Fat Stolen Italian Dinner. In our game, you take the role of a character named Fabio, who is actually an Italian ninja. Because your family is coming in to visit you on a nice little island that you live on, you have to make them a nice proper Italian meal. However, being late at night, all the stores are closed. So your only option is to go and steal the ingredients from your fellow neighbors, and you have to create the best spaghetti that your family has ever had. So the intent of our game is going to be for all the ages above 10 years old. It's going to be a one-player game for the PC set in modern-day Japan with a little bit of a Shinto village style theme to it. We really want to keep reinforcing a comedic value to bring the player to really enjoy the game with our much more simplistic art style, so we're not going to go too detailed, but we're going to make it nice and peaceful and enjoyable. So our game is primarily going to focus on 5 major mechanics. The player is going to be able to combine ingredients that the player has found in order to make the spaghetti dinner, and that's going to be our very first win condition for the game. The next one is going to be collect, so the player is ultimately going around and collecting all the ingredients to be able to make this spaghetti dinner, and the only way to get it is going to be our third mechanic, which is stealing. You're going to be able to go to different boxes and things like that, and shelves, and steal the ingredients. If the player at any point wants to go ahead and quit, whether they've got something to do or whatever, they're going to be able to resign. And we're not going to have a save feature for this game, so resigning is the only way to quit the game. Outside of that, we're going to be able to win or lose, and one of the other major losing conditions is going to be if you're caught by a guard. If you're caught by a guard, you immediately lose. So we want to go ahead and present to you storyboards of all the different mechanics. The very first one is going to be steal, and you see in the very first screenshot and the second and the following, you will be able to approach a crate or anything like that, press the E button to steal, and it will run a random number generator whether you will find an item or whether you won't. In a continuation of our storyboard here, it will bring us into collect, where you have been able to find the tomato, and if you press the F button, which is not necessarily after you have found something, you can press it at any time, it will bring up an inventory which will show an X over everything that you have found, and it will leave an empty box if you have not found it. If the player has been able to find everything, you will be able to use the combine mechanic of our game, where if once the menu is open, you will be able to press the C button when you're at your house, and you will be able to win the game, and a dialogue will show up saying that you have won the game, and eventually it'll bring you back to the title screen at the very beginning of the game. Again, we have the mechanic resigning, which will be available for the player at any point during the game if they want to quit or if they need to leave or anything like that. They would be able to bring up this menu and say yes or no, and if the player says yes, then you have lost the game, and a dialogue will pop up and show that the player has lost. The final lose condition is going to be if the player is caught by a guard, which is what we're going to show in this storyboard here. You can see in the very first screenshot the guard sitting there. It has a nice little lantern, and he has seen you because you have walked into the light, and it displays the dialogue that you have lost, and then will eventually lead to the main menu screen at the very beginning of the game. We do have a few competitors, however we believe that our game is very different. We have Metal Gear Solid from Konami, Thief from Eidos, and Katamari Damacy from Namco. We're taking and we have a lot of mechanics that are very similar with movement and stealth and stealing, things like that. However, our game is very different in that we're doing it in our own way. We're throwing in a comedic value. We're having an Italian guy, in a Japanese style village, and we're just trying to really focus on the player just having a fun time and enjoying the game and making it simple and enjoyable. The following 3 screenshots are going to be just basic images of what the game is starting to look like and what it's building up to be. And this very first screenshot is just looking out over a few buildings and a few structures. In the second screenshot, it's a player walking into a building, and the player sees crates in which he or she can steal from and see if they can get ingredients. And this final screenshot is going to be the player about to walk over a bridge, just to show a general scale that we want to make a lot of the structures a little bit larger to add a more fantasy style and just make it a little bit more enjoyable, but ultimately we just want to reinforce the comedic value of the player moving and running and jumping over a big world. Again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.